never lack. Wisdom of war, we're the ones to seek strategy and skill, it's the grind up the peak. Ghost with the tactics, Buck brings the heat. Lipinski and Pease got the moves, can't be beat. Onward in the virtual war, Musak on the rise. Uplink in the air, we aim for the prize. Vault defending the house, watch our back. In this game of survival, we never lack. So tune in and ride, let the battle commence. In the brutal podcast, we drop that intense. From the chaos of combat to the calm of the chat, we're warriors of wisdom, and that's where it's at. Welcome to the brutal podcast, no time to relax. Shipwrecked in the booth, we're spitting facts. Some strats to loadouts, we break it all down. Goes Bob, Lipinski, Pease holding the crown. Onward in the virtual war, Musak on the rise. Uplink in the air, we aim for the prize. Vault defending the house, watch our back. In this game of survival, we never lack. Wisdom of war, we're the ones to seek strategy and skill, it's the grind, not the peak. Ghost with the tactics, Bob brings the heat. Lipinski and Pease got the moves, can't be beat. Onward in the virtual war, Musak on the rise. Uplink in the air, we aim for the prize. Vault defending the house, watch our back. In this game of survival, we never lack. Wisdom of war, we're the ones to seek strategy and skill, it's the grind up the peak. Ghost with the tactics, Buck brings the heat. Lipinski and Pease got the moves, can't be beat. Onward in the virtual war, Musak on the rise. Uplink in the air, we aim for the prize. Vault defending the house, watch our back. In this game of survival, we never lack. So tune in and ride, let the battle commence. In the brutal podcast, we drop that intense. From the chaos of combat to the calm of the chat, we're warriors of wisdom, and that's where it's at. Welcome to the brutal podcast, no time to relax. Shipwrecked in the booth, we're spitting facts. Some strats to loadouts, we break it all down. Goes Bob, Lipinski, Pease holding the crown. Onward in the virtual war, Musak on the rise. Uplink in the air, we aim for the prize. Vault defending the house, watch our back. In this game of survival, we never lack. Wisdom of war, we're the ones to seek strategy and skill, it's the grind, not the peak. Ghost with the tactics, Bob brings the heat. Lipinski and Pease got the moves, can't be beat. Onward in the virtual war, Musak on the rise. Uplink in the air, we aim for the prize. Vault defending the house, watch our back. In this game of survival, we never lack. Wisdom of war, we're the ones to seek strategy and skill, it's the grind up the peak. Ghost with the tactics, Buck brings the heat. Lipinski and Pease got the moves, can't be beat. Onward in the virtual war, Musak on the rise. Uplink in the air, we aim for the prize. Vault defending the house, watch our back. In this game of survival, we never lack. So tune in and ride, let the battle commence. In the brutal podcast, we drop that intense. From the chaos of combat to the calm of the chat, we're warriors of wisdom, and that's where it's at. Welcome to the brutal podcast, no time to relax. Shipwrecked in the booth, we're spitting facts. Some strats to loadouts, we break it all down. Goes Bob, Lipinski, Pease holding the crown. Onward in the virtual war, Musak on the rise. Uplink in the air, we aim for the prize. Vault defending the house, watch our back. In this game of survival, we never lack. Wisdom of war, we're the ones to seek strategy and skill, it's the grind, not the peak. Ghost with the tactics, Bob
All right, hello and welcome to the Onward Brutal podcast. I'm your host Shipwreckd, and I've got Rambo with me. What's going on, Rambo?
Hey, what's up? Thanks for having me.
All right, so in this episode, in the title, it's coming out. We've got big league news, so we're gonna let y'all anticipate that a little bit longer. But uh, in rules or in the rumor mill and stuff like that. I don't think it. I think they've hinted on it, and websites went down and everything else like that for the VREL. Is that correct?
Yeah, so I think Discord already hasn't made an official announcement in the Discord, but pretty much they got shut down.
Yep.
So it's public. It's not like a rumor.
Yeah. So
Public thing.
they're done. They're out of here.
Do we want
Still,
to like dive into the backstory of them or no?
yeah, we can here in a bit. Uh,
Okay.
but uh, IVRL, they're still waiting on a
Mhm.
update, and so we've been in 6 months of silence. And same thing with
Yeah.
VRML. I've tried reaching out to both of them, and that's pretty much all they said. Like, hey, we're waiting on an update. So, uh, so there you go. I would like to welcome everybody in the chat. We've got who we got. We got Wicked. We got S Dove, Kiwi, Rambo. You're here at the desk. Sander, Jared, Badger. What is going on, everybody? Jared, are y'all in there? Are y'all doing the big screen with your whole team? I don't
We're
know.
probably gonna reply soon.
They probably in there chilling in in the big screen, chilling, watching the brutal podcast. But yeah, we do have what's that other league popping up? The VRCL. They're about to start popping off uh their season. I think they're starting off pretty small. Uh but yeah, that's an option. But the bigger news is the OCL, Onward Champions League. That is the new one. That's the new league that's popping off. And Rambo is the league manager. Tell us a little bit about this OCL, the Onward Champions League.
Before we get into it, I have to give a shout out to Indy. Yes, rest in peace, Catholic Goat. You're my boy too, Indy. We love you.
Yeah,
Um,
that's my sweet
yeah,
koala bear.
such a good dude, man. I love him.
Yeah.
And also, Jared has a scrim today. Yeah, so we're
Oh,
waiting on the next map. They're well, he's so committed.
yeah.
Listening and waiting for the next map. That's dope. Anyway, so to get into it, OCL. Just do we want like an overview
Yeah, an
of OCL?
overview. I mean, just
Yeah.
how it's going to be ran and stuff like that. If you want to go into details, let's get into details. Let's give these people what they want to hear. Get them
All right.
hyped
Okay. So
up.
we'll start. We'll start with. Well, you already kind of hinted towards it. Uh, and that was like all what's happening right now in the scene is Villarreal had to get shut down because their back end support from Combat Waffle Studios got cut off. So it wasn't like a conscious decision to end it. It was the league manager for VREL didn't have control over it. Basically, his coder and it was a part of Combat Waffle Studios. They decided to part ways. That and then no website backing means the league dies. So that league died. IVRL VRML again, like Ship said, just nowhere. I mean, they have good intentions. I get they're waiting for an update, but that kind of leaves us in a place where we have no league to play. So everything kind of lined up, and that's how OCL kind of started. Because I mean, if IVRL was running right now, we wouldn't have a need for an OCL. But the reason why it happened was because again there is no league. So I'm part of Breachers Championship League, a part of Championship League VR, and
Yeah.
I'm also a league manager there as well. So I was talking to our coder Carl, and I was telling him, look, there's no league for this game right now, and VREL just died. Do we want to like make a decision to, expand CLVR into Onward? Because CLVR almost exclusively was for Pavlov and for Breachers. It didn't have any other games. So it all kind of lined up really well. VREL went down, IVRL and VRML were were waiting to start, and Parl was free, and we were looking to expand anyway. So we kind of just filled in that gap. And so far, I mean, I'm loving the support, man. Like we got a lot of this is building up more. Like I remember I was talking to you Ship earlier,
Yeah.
we're talking about we'd be happy with 15 teams. We easily surpassed that with like a week and a half.
Yeah. And when
Uh,
does the season start? And is it still available to join?
so yes, so yeah, the season starts January 21st. No, sorry, 27th. Yeah, 27th. So yeah, the season starts January 27th. You, I believe, because it's a 6-week season, you can join, but you can only join until the halfway point. So when roster locks, which is 3 weeks in, and that is February 17th, end of week 3, then the bracket will close, and that will be it. Because after that, there will only be 3 weeks till playoffs.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, and so
And
so this is going to be like a season 0, season interim, I guess.
right, yep, exactly.
So we're not getting a full season. We're giving the competition players a platform to play in that competitive setting or whatever.
Yep.
And
Right.
but still try to get it before the update. And so that's great. And you said that OCL is a part of a bigger umbrella.
Yeah. So
So
OCL is a
it's
part of CLVR.
okay.
Uh, yeah, Championship League VR,
But they
and they've been
don't
around for quite some time.
but they don't have no control over the OCL or anything else. It's just like a little branch off and you're the head honcho.
Yeah,
I,
pretty much.
I
And yeah,
dig it.
Parles are owner,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm the league manager. So yeah, pretty much I run the show essentially. But I don't like to view it that way. I actually truly believe that we're a community, and so the
Yeah.
community puts trust into their moderators, and the moderators we work as one unit. So we all make you know the decisions we make isn't just from one person, and that's even including me. It's more of a democracy. So
Yeah.
it's basically everything is not everything, but most things are voted for,
Mm-hmm.
and most of the votes are dictated based off of what the community needs. And I don't know, like how many people know about this, but basically we do community votes as well. Like if we're confused about stuff, or if our mods are tied on a decision, we'll go to the community, and we've already done that for a couple of things, a couple rule
Yeah.
changes or rule add-ons. And yeah, I mean that's the way I like to run things. I don't like to think of it like I'm the person leading it. I think as a community we're gonna lead it together. So yeah, that's my view on it.
So like what makes this stand out? I mean, we see a lot of leagues popping up. I mean, since the hiatus of VRML, I mean, IVRL or VRML, since the hiatus with VRML, all these it's tongue tying.
Yeah, I
Uh
know.
you have IVRL throwing their name in the hat, but not really pot committing on a season. You have VRCL coming in with a little league. They're getting a little bit of traction. Uh and VREL losing out and just disbanding. Uh all those pretty much had the same like maps and rule sets and everything else like that.
Mhm.
What stands out with the OCL?
So in terms of maps and rule sets and stuff, rule sets were kind of. I think every league should be kind of similar.
Yeah.
But in terms of maps and how the diversity of that it was chosen was I think we did a staff vote about this where we decided to make maps 1 and 3 generated from DPI maps.
Yep.
And then the thing that makes it unique is that second map is a custom map, and that custom map, the lower ELO team, and ELO is like the lower ranking team.
Yeah.
ELO is basically a word for XP, like experience, right? So we have our own MMR system that gets calculated through an algorithm. So basically, the team with less XP gets to choose that map, and the team with the higher ranking gets to make the map ban. And so that in terms of map choices and like how that layout is, that's what's special about it. But in terms of why people should have incentive to join this league, what makes this league different than all other millions of leagues you just or not millions, but you know what I mean, all other leagues you've just said or spoken about. I would say really the difference here is it's fulfilling a need. Like again, there are no leagues right now,
Mm-hmm.
right? And like I don't know about you, but I definitely don't want to play against Christmas questies when I have time to play.
Yeah,
Like
absolutely.
playing a match is like a pub. It's not a pub lobby to me, but it's like the normal for me. Like
Yeah.
I find it the most enjoyable. So we're trying to really capture that, like what we all have a passion for, right?
Yep.
And yeah, I mean, again, that's not being fulfilled right now. So that was the whole goal of starting this. And we like to create. I mean, I'm sure you know about this, but I know the viewers don't. But our whole point is to expand and create more incentive for players to play. So, for example, in season 0, we have a prize pot of T-shirts with your team logo and your gamer tag that's going to be on it. So that's just a
Yeah,
small
something
incentive.
small. I dig
But
it.
it's pretty. I mean, listen, I have a jersey from VRML. I fucking love the thing. Excuse my language, but I love the thing. Like,
It's
has my name
brutal. It's
on
all
it.
right.
Okay, good. Yeah, I was wondering if should I have said that, but yeah, okay, that's good. But yeah, so it has like my gamer tag on it, and it has my logo on it, right? Has the league logo on it, and anytime I play a really big match, I'll throw it on. I'll throw it on, and I'm like, all right, cool. I'm geared up. I'm wearing my jersey. Let's get it.
I have my
So,
custom caster jersey for the con. I'll wear
I
that
mean,
every now and then.
look, I like to treat it like a sport, so I'm gonna wear a jersey. I'm gonna have a routine, right?
Yeah,
I'm gonna do
absolutely.
all the same thing people do when they play sports. So for me, it's important. So I don't know how other people feel about it, but I would love to play. I would love to win this thing. I'm gonna be honest. Wear it all the time.
So I heard the map pool's going to be different.
Yeah.
Is that
So
correct?
yeah. So far right now, because the second maps are custom maps, or sorry, the second map pick out of the scheme we have is a custom map. We have generic custom maps for it, but our plan is, and I remember we discussed this together, was to expand on that a lot. So we actually have the ability to add and take out maps, and there are going to be a ton of community votes on this, by the way. And that's what I love about community votes. It's
Yeah.
like, who wants to play what map? Because I would love to just throw it in there, right? And so that's the thing, though. The thing about community votes is, I think the community knows enough to pick the right kind of map,
Yeah.
right? That's like competitively viable. So I'm excited for it. Yeah, our plan is to throw in a lot of good custom maps, and that I feel like is going to incentivize creators to make more competitively viable custom maps and have
Absolutely.
it used in the league. Like that's going to be huge. I said this before, and I don't know if people will vote it in, but paintball, man, I love paintball. Not just because my name's on it, but it's cool that people's names are on it. That's like dope. But even the layout of it, I really do like it. So hopefully, fingers crossed. Hopefully that gets put in. But I'm not in control of that, right? It's a community
Yeah.
thing. So
No, I've seen the Onward Custom Map League. They just do tournaments. It's not a league or anything.
right,
But
yeah. What was
yeah,
it called? OCML.
yeah, OCML.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh
Shout out to them, by the
they've got,
way.
yeah, props. I mean, that's all the map makers. That's what it is. It's more of a map makers league. So it's like they make
Right.
all these maps and they just get players to come in and play these tournaments on their maps just to uh trying to get their maps in a map pool. That's their overall in-game goal, is getting their maps and all that hard work. I mean, I've tried and tried and tried to make a map. It is crazy
Yeah, it's
insane.
hard.
So like
Yeah.
Swamp and Elmo, Beluga, all those guys, I mean, mad props. So
Okay, so we got a question from Orange Man.
yeah,
All right,
so
so you want to quit? You want to go, or should I
yeah,
go?
no, it's wait, so the first and third map are pre-picked, and then the teams can only pick customs. I think a little explanation. I think it, from the way
Yeah.
I understood it goes through the band system and on maps 1 and 3, but map 2 is going to be the custom maps. Is that correct?
So no, we auto-generate maps 1 and 3, which are DPI
Okay.
maps. Those are going to be your regular DPI maps, maps 1 and 3. And so the
Okay.
bot will do that for you. And then map 2, again, the lower elo team picks the map, and before they do that, the higher elo team bans the list of customs, right? So if we have, let's say for example, you're playing a team that's really good on Arctic. Arctic's one of the custom maps. So the higher elo team bans that, and now the lower elo team's left with what Shipyard. Uh, what else is on it? USS Quest. I don't think we added that yet, but definitely we want to get that in there. What else is in there? I don't have it. I don't have it up.
Yeah, I want to see. I mean, so that's what when you say custom maps, I'm thinking like paintball and stuff like that. So we're getting away from these, even though they're listed as custom maps. They've been played throughout the leagues for years now. So it's like Quest and all those. Those are almost as like DPI maps, in my opinion, when we go into a match. They've been played, so I mean, a custom map is those new maps where, hey, you know what, we really haven't practiced cul-de-sac or something like that. So really putting them in that tactical aspect of having to think on the fly and come up with these. There's not meta strats for them.
Yeah, shout out to cul-de-sac, by the way. That's a great map. I'd love to see that in there. But so for right now, season 0, because I know Orange just asked, so only one ban per match. So because the custom map list is not that extensive right now for season 0, it probably will only be one. But as we go on here, we're looking to expand that list. So to answer your question, Ship, right now it's a small list, but as we go on, we're just going to throw them in there based off of voting, right? So yeah, right now it is one ban. That's subject to change though.
Yeah. Roger that. They said as the website's still getting updated, they're having troubles accessing areas of it.
Yeah, right now it's not fully, because the season hasn't started, it's not fully operational yet in terms of where you decide to go. But yeah, it should be fully operational come the 27th.
Yeah, roger that. Roger that. So, oh look, we got VR Championship League in here. What's going on? But yeah, I think their league. When is it? I just saw it. They got like I'm a member of their Discord, so I think it's coming up. The official start season for that VRCL is March 16th. So they'll be starting on there on March 16th coming up. So yeah, be sure to hop over to the VRCL if you haven't already. So what is going on? Talking to the chat, my fault. Multitasking. But yeah, if y'all are interested in that, VRCL, so they start March 16th, and then the OCL starts one more time. Next week. Yeah, so I mean, when the Titans of Onward VR champion leagues, when they're caught sleeping waiting on an update, that there's room to grow. So OCL and VCRL are the only two active leagues right now, in my opinion. So too many leagues. There's only two that are active.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, look, there is, and this is one of the discussions we've had with staff. There is going to be a time, and this happens with most leagues, where players just don't want to trust the leagues because there have been so many leagues. And I get it, and that's part of the reason why we're doing this is because, my plan is to just keep going. See how long I can make the league go for, or we can make the league go for, because I want players to have a place where they could trust again, because that's just been taken away. So, and I'm a part of the community. I experienced it too, right? And league after league, it was IRL, VRL, right? And they pop up, they come and go, and it's hard, man. It's hard to keep a league alive. Yeah, he's like Dub said he's listing all of them.
Well, VRL's dead. VRML's waiting. IVRL just said something. So, I mean, the only real two active leagues are OCL and VRCL. I mean, that's what it is.
Pretty much, yeah.
Access must have missed the funeral. Yeah, VRL's done, brother. They're done.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Like I said, a lot of people, it's hard to create a league for this game because the devs don't want to support the game in a competitive sense, like a Breachers or a Veil. Um, but it's not impossible, and that's just the thing. It requires a big uh, I don't want to say community policing, but a big sense of community, as in everyone in the community has to kind of understand where this game's at
Yeah.
and
I mean,
take it for what it is.
it's on the chopping block. I mean, this game's been around for several years, and I mean, if they can keep Minecraft around for as long as Minecraft's been around, the
Yeah,
community can keep onward alive. Come on, guys.
I don't
I
I
don't
don't
want to
think
be
Onward.
beat
So
out.
here's the deal. I don't think it will die because if you look at their player base, there are a lot of casuals,
Yeah.
and that's what the devs are choosing to serve their majority player base, which is the casuals.
Hmm.
So they're not going to support any league in a way where they're going to update the game in a way to make it more competitively viable. And when I mean that, I mean like server infrastructure, right?
Yeah.
They won't do that because that's a waste of their resources to, overhaul their current system and a waste of their money, really, because majority of the players are casual. So I kind of understand that,
Yeah.
but it doesn't make running a league impossible. Like we're just going to have to have our own rules, know where we are in terms of where we are in terms of our community, how to identify it, right? Like basically just knowing our place, knowing that what the game devs are choosing to focus on the casuals and not the league. So we kind of have to like have a well established sense of integrity and you know uh, sportsmanship, right? So yeah, that's basically just like kind of understanding that because if you don't have those things, you might as well just go into a more competitive game. That's just my opinion, right?
Yeah.
Because I've been there. Like I was on a top 5 team in Breachers for VRML, and there is no sportsmanship or community because the game was created to be very competitive. It was made for the comp players. So
Yeah.
you just play, you get casted. You don't even. It's just again your name. They don't hear your voice. There's no proximity chat. So it's that kind of competitive experience. So it's completely two different things. This
Yeah.
chat's going kind of crazy. I'm not able to
Yeah.
read all of it.
Yeah, so I've seen Access VRML isn't returning. Nothing has been officially said. I've reached out to VRML trying to say, "Hey, look, I have a platform, uh, so we can let everybody know what's going on with the with the league." So, uh, and they said, "Man, we're waiting on an update." That's what I got. So,
Yeah, I mean, I see where they're coming from. They want to see if the game's going to be competitively viable after the update, and that is because the devs, again, they're going in the direction of how can we make this more entertaining for our main targeted audience,
hmm,
right? So who knows? Maybe after that, the game isn't competitively viable. I choose to believe that that's very hard to believe. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like, as long as there's a way to make rule sets, the game can be competitively viable. That's the reality. But the question is, and this is why I kind of understand it, how because with each update there is some fuck up somewhere, something happens,
yeah,
right? Something major, like oh now all of a sudden you can see through half of downfall, right?
yeah.
So I think they're just waiting for that because this is going to be, and you don't know what's going to be broken, so they probably have to go do all the checking, do all the testing, see what's
Yeah.
broken, rewrite the rules. So it's going to be a big overhaul for sure.
Yeah, so I'm going through the website, through y'all's website, and it looks like pretty similar. I mean, it's so you'll have the teams and the team listings. So y'all are going to be keeping stats similar to what other leagues have done in the past with rounds won and round percentages and stuff like that. That's a very good aspect to have. Are there any other stats? I know people have been asking, is that in the works of keeping individual player stats?
For OCL,
Yeah.
honestly, we could have a vote on it, but I personally believe that team game, and
Yeah.
that's just the way I don't know
Yeah.
about you, but that's the way I was taught.
Well, like
So
how
you
many
have teams.
caps and like, so I know a lot of big complaints in other leagues were, especially when bands are involved, are those
Mhm.
bands going to be recorded and listed somewhere?
We could definitely do that. It's within the website infrastructure to be able to display that intel because everything done through the Discord is linked to the website,
Yeah.
right? So whatever band you make in your match thread will be displayed on the website. We can make an algorithm that gets those bands, puts basically like VRML, puts it in a percentage, puts it on your team profile, makes a list out of it. Like that's definitely possible. Now, can we pump that out for season 0? I think we'll need time
Yeah.
because that's a lot of work in terms of coding.
Yeah, so Indie Couch made a good point.
Mm-hmm.
If the update makes the game non-competitive, I mean, you can always downgrade to play that esports build. I remember it was like maybe season 12 or 13 maybe in VRML that we had to do that after a big update that went sour. Uh if you were playing in a league, you
Mm-hmm.
had to switch to that esports build and still making it a viable
Yeah,
competitive
right.
game. So
I
I
mean,
mean,
look, I'm not trying to defend VRML here. Like, that's what we plan to do if the update comes out early, because our playoffs do start in March for season 0. So we're like right on the cusp because from what I believe, now this is just official. There is no exact release date for the update, but from all the hints I've was able to put together, I think it's coming out at the end of March. But there's a chance I'm wrong,
yeah,
right? There's a chance it could be early March, and if that's the case, then yeah, in order to play playoffs, you would have to do esports build to
yeah.
make it so you can play playoffs. Now the problem with esports build is it's just a big, like you said, it's a big pain in the ass
Well,
because you
I
got
mean,
to
to an extent, I mean, I had it. It
right,
was muscle memory. I mean, we done it for so long
right,
in that season. It was just like, all right,
yeah,
you know
yeah,
what? I want to play pub lobbies, so I'm going to jump over. And then eventually, we just stayed in it, and the the competition players just had their own league or had their own pub lobbies. So we didn't have all these Christmas questies jumping in there, and it made for
right,
some pretty good pub lobby matches for sure.
right.
Uh, but yeah, I
This
mean,
chat
jumping
is going
back and
crazy.
forth, yeah, it is.
This is crazy. I can't keep up with both, man. It's crazy.
But yeah, no, I'm liking the website and how it has the team names and stuff like that. It's kind of empty right now, but the league hasn't started.
Yeah.
But I
So
like it.
that's right. Yeah, I'm familiar with the website. I've been on the BCL side,
Yeah,
so I've already been around to it. If you actually want to see what its capabilities are, you could go to the BCL side of it, and you could just start looking at team histories, like how everything is laid out.
yeah, no, I like
For all the
that. Yeah, I'm in it.
yeah, I
I'm
mean,
in it right now and looking. I mean, it's showing win percentages, wins, round ones, round win percentages. I mean, it looks pretty legit. So
yeah. Hammy says DPI is fighting for funding, so it makes sense to focus on the casuals. I 100% agree with that. And that's exactly I get their incentive, right?
yeah,
It's a $30 game. There are no in-app purchases, so they're trying to incentivize people to spend that $30 to come and play the game casually. That's fine, um, but it would be nice to get some lines of communication to be able to speak to the devs about certain things. But I know that has been done in the past, but that bridge has kind of been burned because of all the drama created from that and such. So not
yeah.
too sure if that's going to be a thing in the future. But we'll see.
Yeah, fun fact, that's like Nintendo's business model. No, for real. Nintendo is hardcore against updates. I mean, they're not going to release a game that's incomplete. They're going to that's the game. The game you buy is the game you get. If they want to update it, it's going to be a number 2 or number 3. I mean,
Yeah,
no in-game purchases. I mean, that's what it is. So,
and that's probably why they're one of the most successful consoles, or
yeah.
they were for a long time.
Yeah.
They still are pretty big. They made Super Smash Bros.
Oh yeah. I mean,
Yeah, that's
you get
a lot of
Super
good games.
Smash Bros. Kirby on Super Smash Brothers. Oh, it's game over, son. Game
I was
over.
more of Fox. Fox. Fox is my character. I love Fox.
You get that
We'll
little
have
that little
a brutal Super Smash Bros.
yeah
session.
that little pink ball of Hoover vacuum cleaner just sucking all the bad guys up.
The annoying thing about Kirby was when you knock Kirby off the ledge of the map, Kirby could just fly back up. Hated that
Yup.
so much.
It's like going back to Techno Bowl playing Bo Jackson.
Yeah, right. It's definitely very overpowered.
So to sign up for the OCL,
Mhm.
I guess you would go to the website or sign up in the Discord.
Yeah, so to sign up, you would go into the Discord. You need to sign up with your Meta account, and you'll just go into bot commands and do slash sign up Meta account. Um, Definitely agree. Access pay to win destroys games for sure, but pay to win also has you got to understand a game like Call of Duty is a big monopoly because they do pay to win. They're able to have for their prize pools, right? So as much as it is annoying, it does work at the end of the day, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Uh, and that's why I choose to subscribe my time into a game like this, and because it and that's one of the big appeals to me for Onward. It's not a pay to win, it's just skill, right? And so I don't know about you guys, but that's one of the reasons why I fell in love with the game. But yeah, to go back to signing up, so yeah, you'll sign up your Meta account first, and you do use slash sign up Meta account and bot commands, and then after that, you get your group of five. You do slash uh, apply for team, and then it will make a team application. Make sure to have a team logo. We'll get we'll look at your players. We'll ask for a team logo, give that to us, we'll sign you up. And then once you're signed up and you have a conference, that again, everything on the Discord transfers onto the website. So once that's done and you have a conference thread, that'll be registered on the website.
Roger that, and that link is in the bio. So,
Yeah, right.
so you cannot
And
make a
fun fact,
team until you have five.
yeah, so you need five to make a team.
Okay, roger that.
Five is the minimum, eight is the max. I love what Indy's saying. I knew Rambo would bring up COD. Fun fact: Indy used to play. Me and him used to play COD. He was pretty fucking good. I give him credit. Come back, Indy. Come back. We need you. It's tournament time,
Yeah.
and we have a full roster this year though for that games.
So yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
we've got a pretty good understanding and knowledge of OCL. I mean, like, I think it's going to be a pretty good league to fill the hole. I mean, that's what we're taught on SWAT. I mean, just flow and fill. I mean, you see a hole, fill it, and it looks like
Right.
OCL is in that mind frame. Flow and fill.
Right.
There's a hole, fill it up.
And I also truly believe like VRML. I'm not trying to bash a league. I think they're obviously a monopoly of the league for Onward. They've established themselves more of like a Wild West kind of league, which is what people ultimately want because at the end of the day, they feel like that's the most fair. But over time, as you play VRML, kind of understand that there's a turnover for teams. There are some teams,
Yeah.
especially for Onward, I know that's unique, where they stay for a long time. Animal House being a great example. They've been here since like who knows how it's
Animal
been.
House,
Yeah,
Mayhem. I mean,
Mayhem.
there's a
Yeah,
few.
season like what? I want to say season like 6, maybe season 7.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
and
Animal
that's
House
only.
is the oldest standing team, I
Oh,
do
Animal House is
believe.
definitely
Well,
yeah,
NA at least, as far as NA
right.
goes. I think some
But you
EU
guys,
teams have been around.
if you look at all the other games, Onward is a very unique game, as in the turnover for comp teams is very low, actually. But if you look at any other games, if Breachers is a great example. The turnover for comp teams and Breachers is very high. That means you'll have a peak, your peak is over, you get shipped off.
Yeah.
As in, you either go to another team or you're yesterday's news, so you start losing on the ladder, right?
Yeah.
It's very fast, and that's how it happens. But with Onward, it wasn't like that. Especially, I don't know about you, Ship, but from my and teams were you there as if you're there first, you're most likely you had more time. That means you developed more strats, more skill, more map knowledge.
Oh yeah.
That puts you right. But that seems to have changed. I don't know if anybody has realized,
Get
but
them gypsy players playing. They jump from team to team to team, and it just don't work out. I mean, like when I first started VRML in season 11 on Violence of Action, it was just bam. We stuck together. When the team finally disbanded in 15, I mean, we parted ways. Our captain didn't have the love for the game no more, and he wouldn't transfer the team over, so it went to the wayside for him, and everybody else still had the drive. I mean, if you go and look at the players of the roster of Violence of Action, I mean, you have me, You have Ghost on Mayhem. You have Snobby Ryder on Mayhem. You have Rival. He's on Proteus now. I mean, just
Yeah.
some solid players that are still solid foundations in this league. So, I mean,
Yeah.
sticking together is the way to go. Being a gypsy player and stuff like that, that's not really a solid aspect of trying to do things really as an individual or a team. I mean, this is a team game after all. So, one team, one fight. It's not going to be one person being the carry. So,
You're right. I guess everyone has their own view on. I mean, you want to try to stick to that. I mean, that's like the best advice you could give people. I'm
yeah,
not even gonna lie. But I'm, a player and I don't view it that way. I'm gonna have a differing of opinion, right?
yeah,
But I mean, I agree with you 100%. You couldn't have said it better. But also, shout out to Wicked NJ. He actually answered the question in chat. I didn't even see it. He's the best.
yeah. No, the chat's been going. What's going on? Savage Proto, Hammy, they joined. Badger, a lot of them. So
Yeah.
a lot of people. Zpon. I mean, a lot of people. Zero Cool.
Oh, Zero Cool's in the house.
Yeah, Zero Cool's in
Shout
the
out to Zero
house.
Cool.
Yeah, shout out to Zero Cool for hooking me up with all my theme song stuff.
Zero Cool the man.
Yeah,
Zero
he
Cool the
is.
man.
Mad props because he understood my gamer tag without me having to explain it. So
That's funny.
yeah, if y'all don't know, Shipwrecked is a GI Joe. That's how I got the name. So yeah, he's the BA sailor. So I'm like, oh, I'm a shipwreck too.
I love that. I love that. See, I love hearing the origins of someone's.
Yeah, no, really humanizes the gamer tag. Really.
Well, it humanizes it, and it kind of gives you an insight on what kind of person that person is, right?
Yep.
So I love it.
Like I remember
But
we were interviewed by TripNip with VRML. Violence of Action was, and that was one of the questions they asked. Where'd your gamer tag come from? And I remember Snobby Rider. He was like, man, this is my PlayStation gamer tag, and they just made it, and I didn't change it, so I've been forever Snobby Rider 6.
yeah, sometimes it's that simple though.
Yeah.
But I love that too, right?
Got that like Post
Always like-
Malone origin story.
Yeah.
How'd you come up with your rap name? Oh, rap name generator.
Generator. That's so funny.
That's how he got his rap name, though, through a rap name generator.
Yeah, but that's what makes it so good, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, to go back to it, I guess it says I don't have permission to use this command.
Yeah. Well, I mean, reach out to Rambo.
Yeah.
After
we'll
the
figure it out
podcast,
after.
he'll get y'all squared away.
But yeah, to go back to what I was saying there, you're right. If you want to call it gypsy players or whatnot, something has changed, and that has made it less of. It's been a higher team turnover, and things have shifted. If you look at the leaderboards,
Yeah.
and I think honestly that's not a good thing because the whole point. I mean, it's way more fun to have long-standing teams and be there for a while. The amount of hype and just how amazing it feels to be a part of. Like, I don't know, I can't even explain the first time I played a big team. I think we played Tempo my first scrim ever. And I mean, that's a tall order for just playing, starting to play the game. Like, I didn't tell you my origin story, did I, Ship?
No, send it.
No, Murder Cult found me in a pub lobby, and the next day he asked me to scrim with his team in Sidious, and that scrim was against fucking Tempo.
Wow.
So I got thrown into the defense from day one. I didn't play too badly. I still have the cast of that scrim. They obviously won, but we didn't play too badly. And I was hooked. Yeah, I was hooked because that was my first exposure of high, league play. It's the communication aspect, the strategy, right? And just playing with, and like, you got to think about it. If you look at it when I don't know about you, Shit, but when I first started playing in pub lobbies and I never played a scrim before,
Yeah.
that level of communication was something that I never experienced. So I think that's what kind of got me hooked. But the bigger picture towards that was you're with your team now and you're climbing the ladder. Teams like Dark Tidings,
Yep.
right? You're playing teams like Mayhem. You're playing teams like Animal House. Playing teams like Peacekeepers, right? All these OG teams that have been there for a while, and just going through that experience is really fun.
Yeah.
I don't think there was a better comp experience I had than that first season with that team and playing all these teams that have been there for so long, right? And maybe you're not winning, but and that's a part of the fucking grind of it, right? And
Yep.
that's what makes it so fucking entertaining. You're like, holy shit, this is like a whole nother world. And then you got to learn your call outs. Now you know your call outs, but you got to, come up with strategies. And it just goes and goes and goes and goes. And it's a beautiful thing. And I think, all of us are passionate about that because in our own ways, that's what we fell in love with, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I think that's what I wanted. That's the difference. That's what I want to focus on with OCL. I want that to be the difference. I want it to be a league that we could fall in love with the game again. Because I played VRML in season 16, I believe, and it wasn't a bad season with Classified there. We had a good run,
Yeah.
but it definitely wasn't the same. And so, not to say that it was bad, it was just different. And not to say VRML is bad, but it's not what it used to be.
Yeah.
There. Hopefully, and I'm not again. I truly believe that leagues shouldn't compete against each other. That's just my belief because it's a small community anyway, and you
Yep.
shouldn't be competing. And this is part of the problem because if you keep competing against each other, you're going to destroy the community.
Yep.
You're going to cause separation. The community is small enough as it is. I think leagues should actually work together in order to achieve a mutual goal, and that is bring players in, make them fall in love with what we fell in love with, and then it could grow from there. Now, we shouldn't work together with everything, right? Like obviously we're competing for sponsors at the end of the day. But one of the things I think we should work together for is, um, you know, being able to moderate the community in a way where we have players that are going to fit, all the things that we're talking about earlier: integrity, sportsmanship, all these things, right? Part of the reason I think the community deteriorated was because of all the drama, essentially,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. A lot of drama comes along with it. I mean, in all aspects, everybody wants to be the best, and I mean, there's it doesn't matter. There's someone that's always going to be better, no matter what. And then you have to resort to exploiting. I mean, you just lost all credibility in my book. I mean, even if it's goofing off in a pub lobby, you train like you fight. I mean, there's
Yeah,
no need for it at all. I mean, if you can't hack it, put in the reps and get better. I mean, that's all it comes down to. And I think a lot of the drama stemmed from like exploiting and being like, oh, I didn't know I could walk on this ledge, it wasn't officially in the rules. I'm like, read between the lines, my guy. Like, yes, you just told everybody in the league that this team's better than you, and you have to find a way around to to give yourself a competitive edge. And
right.
that's exploiting. I mean, you can call it what you want. It's just you pulled your pants down and said it's not really that big. I mean, 100%.
Yeah.
I
I
mean,
mean, look, I'll say this. I 100% agree with you. Get your reps in because that hard work you do to get your reps in really does pay off at the end of the day.
yeah,
And figure ways out. Like I had to when I was playing at my competitive peak, I had to figure ways out to get my reps in. I would analyze my gameplay constantly, my shooting, my form, right? Strategies,
yeah,
all these things. This is a part of the game, right? And so you gotta kind of I hate to break it to people, you kind of have to suck ass for a bit in order to be good.
yeah,
That's just how it is with everything, right?
yeah. Oh, look, Wicked Hex shot or Indie Couch
Yeah.
shots fired onto Wicked Hex. It took him 12 seasons to get good. You know what? I feel bad. I'm gonna have to send him some brutal podcast Neosporin for that burn.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, the reality is you're you love your ex. You're gonna go at your own pace at the end of the day because I know some like we were speaking about earlier. I like to treat it like a sport, right? But I know some people like to treat it as entertainment, and that's perfectly fine too. In fact, I think that's what makes it kind of fun because you got a spectrum of different, different people using or playing the game for a different thing. At the end of the day, it is entertainment, right?
Yeah.
So it's up to you to, play in the way that makes you the most entertained. For me, that's playing super competitive and treating it like a sport. For you, that could be just, it's the weekend, fuck it, I'm gonna go play a match,
Yeah.
right? So
I love the game. I mean, I don't play it as much as I want to play. Because after my team, Violence of Action, disbanded in season 15, it was just like I just shifted my focus. I was trying to cast and stuff
right.
like that. I casted with the IVRL before they dropped Onward, and uh, helped out Dub City for a while, and who
All
else?
leagues I've
Yeah,
competed in, all leagues are
VRL, VRML. I mean, casted for a lot, and then I just shifted all my focus to casting, and boom.
yeah, all of a sudden we're seeing you at the LAN event as one of the
Yeah,
so and then yeah, apparently I've heard the word on the street is your barbecue is to die for.
yes, it's pretty on point. So I do competition barbecue on the side
I
as a
remember you told
hobby.
me that. That has
So
my interest.
uh, yeah. So
That has
Hammy's
my
asked
interest.
this question twice. What's my PC build? I got. What do you want to know? I got a 4070 GeoForce RTX made by MSI. I got 32 gigs of RAM. What else you want to know? Pretty good. I enjoy it. I've pushed it to its limits on the Brutal Christmas Party.
Did they pay you for your ticket out of LAN?
They paid for my ticket the into the event. I had to pay for my hotel, and I had to pay for my
Oh, so
hotel
they flew
and
you out.
airfare. But
Oh no, they didn't fly you out. They paid for your like admissions ticket. Is that what you're saying?
yeah, yeah, they paid for
Okay,
my admission ticket. I paid for my hotel and airfare. So, uh,
gotcha.
but like
Maybe
I see this as a cocaine habit, really, a cocaine hobby.
oh, 100%.
I mean, I'll throw money at it all day long, and I'm not expecting a return out of it. I do it for fun. This is my woo-saw. Even though I shoot a lot of these guns and do all this stuff at work almost on the daily, I still.
Right. Yeah, I mean, me too, man. Like, I don't play as much as I used to, but this is again, I'm passionate. Like we spoke about earlier, passionate about it. I know you're passionate about
Yeah,
it. A lot of people in this community. I think that's where we're at right now,
yeah,
right? We're passionate about it, and we just need a place to fucking compete. And it's enough of like seriously, guys, enough of the bullshit. How many times have we, you know, had to find a place to compete and it just fucking goes down?
yeah,
I'm tired of it too. Like that's one of the reasons why I went to. We should really take this on.
yeah,
And guys, CLVR has a history. It's gone on for a while. Like it has gone on for a while, especially their Pavlov. God knows how long, and they have their own Pavlov matchmaking website. If you go and look, they have Pavlov matchmaking shack. That is very very big, and they've had over I think uh I don't remember the exact numbers, but they've had a lot of tickets. That's how you know. Oh shit, it's very popping. I think the number was like 13,000 in one season, which is a lot.
yeah.
What is it?
They're talking
Yeah,
about the. Yeah, I didn't mind paying the entry. I paid, even though I got it for free, that's when I started donating hard and heavy. And then they were complaining that I was donating as a caster for other casters during matches. But I mean, I see it as give back to the community that's given something to you. I mean, I scratched their back, they scratched mine. They were able to put on an event, so take advantage of it. I mean, scratch their back too, help them out. That even goes back to the exploiting thing. I mean, if you want the league to stay around, if you want these platforms to play in, I mean, you got to treat them right.
Right. Yeah, I can't. You couldn't have said it any better. That's very true.
So, but yeah, I mean, I'm pretty interested and excited about the OCL League and what they have to offer. I really like the custom maps. It's really showing the other side of Onward that puts in way more time than casters or players on building these maps and giving them an opportunity to show off their masterpieces. Because a lot of those maps, I mean, they're phenomenal. I was sitting there,
They're works of art,
yeah,
like you said. They're masterpieces. So if you, yeah, I mean, you're 100% right there, and that's why I love. Like, dude, some of these custom maps, like they're better. They're better than the fucking DPI maps. I'm sorry.
yeah,
Like, some of them knocked some of the DPI maps right off the board. Like,
yeah.
you could use Tanker as a great example, right?
I've got
Not
my
many people like
favorites.
Tanker. Right. Well, I mean, let's just use Tanker as an
Yeah,
example. There's a lot of custom maps that beat Tanker. Tanker is a DPI main map, right? Uh, but I'm sure you could just go down the list. Now, the problem is, you know, I think we could all mutually kind of agree on Tanker, but once you start getting into the other ones like Downfall, Cargo, and all that, it's kind of hard to beat those. Those are just
yeah,
classics.
yeah. No, I've got lots of favorites now. I mean, like, because every time, like, I'll be sitting there and then boom, I'll see someone send me a picture in a DM or on the Brutal Cast Discord server, and they're like, "Oh, I seen your logo," and I was like, "I didn't even know my logo was in that map." That's awesome. So, I mean, Swamp, Blue, all those guys, they're putting in throwing props out to me and everything that I do. So, man, they scratch mine, I'm gonna scratch theirs. Let's get those maps played. But dude, I know
100% agree.
I'm in the East Village. I got a little Brutal Cast shop. I don't know if it's Brutal Cast or Brutal Podcast.
Says Brutal Podcast.
Okay, then I got the podcast in there on East Village, and then Beluga put me in cul-de-sac on one of the TVs, the Brutal Cast. I'm on one of the TVs in there, and then
That's dope. I know. I've seen a couple of your logos on some of the. I forgot what map we played on Scrim the other day. You were telling me about it too. Remember
yeah.
your logos on the garage?
Oh
I
no,
was
I was
walking by the garage. I was like, I look up. I was like, oh, what the fuck? Shipwreckd's logo.
yeah, I was sitting there. I was playing in helping these guys because they're in the custom map tournament, and I was in there helping those guys play some of the maps that they're playing, and I was looking at a POV, and I looked up and I seen the Brutal Podcast or the Brutal Cast on a billboard up there, and I'm like, look at that, that's legit. So
Yeah, it's very legit.
I mean, yeah, shout out to those guys and the fact that y'all are able to put some of their maps in a map pool because that's their goal. Just like the player's goal, it's to get in the top 10 or diamond or master or overall number one. It's their goal to be in a map pool and get their maps played in a competition setting. So giving them another avenue or another platform to be able to show their maps, it's amazing for the
Yeah,
community.
100% agreed on that. It's works of arts and masterpieces that have never been recognized, and that's a part of the big reason why I think our staff made a good vote and a good call on making the layout that we do have. Because again, so many good custom maps that are just going to be displayed on cast in OCL. I'm very excited to see it, to be a part of it. So
Yeah, but it
yeah,
also it also gives those map makers drive. It's like, hey, like they're actually throwing maps out there besides the Arctic, Tanker, and all these other meta custom maps. I mean, now there's new ones coming out, so they're going to be striving harder to make better maps to fit that competition setting. So give them that
and
drive.
that's what makes me super excited because like who knows what's going to come out of it, right?
Yeah,
Like maybe your next favorite map comes out of it.
yeah,
That's what's so cool. So I don't
yeah.
know. I'm super
Oh, I
excited.
like cul-de-sac. I love cul-de-sac. That was the first time I seen
Cul-de-sac is like a suburbia on
steroids.
steroids.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
100%. And
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 I like
the
it too. I think it's really well done.
the attention to detail he does, like in real life. I mean, I have to do this and train this way, but walls are penetrable in real life. I mean, guns or doors in vehicles are penetrable in real life. I mean, the only thing like the engine block and getting behind the tires and the wheel wells, that's you're really only saving grace on a vehicle. But like buildings, like if it's a wood slat building or whatever material besides brick or stone, those walls are penetrable. So it gives it that more real life aspect, that
Yeah,
immersion
that real life.
experience.
Right.
So
And I don't disagree there because I know on cul-de-sac there are some penetrable. I think it was the doors, the wall right, in the house, I believe.
yeah.
Yeah, but
Oh
I mean,
look, Indy, did
it
someone
should
say
go.
steroids? We know your bodybuilder
Oh, Indy,
background.
get Indy's out here with the syringe thing.
Yeah, I
Love
played
it.
Waterworld. Access was talking about Waterworld. It's pretty different. I mean, a lot of water. I mean, I was trying to get on one of them boats, but that's just one of my things. I was like, oh, I want to get on a boat, son.
I don't even remember playing Waterworld. I'm gonna be honest.
I don't know. It
But
has a good aspect feel to it as far as the buildings and the mansions and stuff, but it's more like after the flood, the water goes down and you just got large pockets of water everywhere. You can walk through them and stuff like that. I think there's going to be issues with it as far as going prone. You can lay down prone underwater and you don't have to worry about holding your breath. So,
I remember it was like that for what was that pirate map Hook?
yeah, hook.
Getting out of the sharks to stop people from laying prone in the water.
Yup.
That was a good update. That was a good map, man. I love that map. I don't know what glitched with the update.
Yeah.
It didn't get through.
Well, what's
But that was
another good map coming out of this? East Village. East Village is good. It has some different aspects to it that I like. Uh, Actually, when I was playing, I was just running around looking at all the billboards and everything, and all the support Swamp was given to everybody, and I was sitting there running around looking at that, and next thing you know, like I'm top fragging. I'm like, I didn't even know. I'm just sitting there focused. I'm like, don't shoot me. I'm trying to look. But no, there are some good aspects to it. I mean, but hey, some people like long distance maps. Some people like those CQB settings. I know Elmo's making a map right now, and he's been asking my input on it, stuff like that.
That's another big thing of why customs are super important because you could just get community feedback.
Yeah,
So if we really wanted to, if some of the map creators, I know the custom league probably has the map creators there. You could just take community. Hey, do you guys think we should? What's your input on this? What's your input on that?
yeah,
Right. And yeah, I get shipped. Now the problem with that was you can't take that to too much face value because it's subjective opinion
correct.
for
Yeah,
most of these things. So it kind of tells you what direction to go into. Broad, I guess. Not sorry, the overall like details of it. That's up to the creator at the end of the day. But
yeah,
it tells you what direction they're going to, like on a broader sense, I guess.
yeah. So what's it like? I'm gonna let Elmo talk about that map. That's not my place, but it's gonna be pretty legit. I was able to put a few little tactical aspect into that map. So, but yeah. Be sure if you haven't done so already, go hit up the link in the bio down below for the OCL. See what they have to offer. Get some teams started or just sit back and watch. But yeah, you have a lot of teams. Let me go through the team lists right now off the website. You have No Quarters, OVL Legacy. Oh, you're getting some of them OVL guys from Assault. You've got
I
Wrecked,
think they signed up yesterday, if I'm not mistaken.
Dark Tidings, Gray Zone, Fallen Sigmas, Most Wanted, Wrecking Crew, Downward, The Cartel, Grim Tide, Shadow Knights, Peapods, Unknown, Mayhem, Shadow Kings, Animal House, with the revamped logo. I'm digging that. Looks like
Yeah,
Animal
that's
House got a little I don't know, may have fell into a little meth right there. The, Sunset Ravens and Excommunicado. I mean, for being a week on board, I mean, you've got some pretty solid teams on there.
Did you get Mayhem? Because I know Mayhem.
Yeah, no, Mayhem's on there. Yeah, I called out
Yeah.
Mayhem. Yeah, Unknown, Mayhem, Shadow Kings. It looks like Shadow Kings had two teams and they just
Had two teams,
split up. So you got Shadow Kings and Shadow
and
Knights.
Shadow Knights, yeah. But that's all for season 0. So that's a lot of teams for season 0. I think everybody wants this T-shirt with the logos on,
Yeah.
just like me.
So it's everybody gets a shirt the first season?
For season 0, if the winner, so the person who wins or the team who wins will, I believe, each player will be getting one.
Okay.
Sorry, give me a second.
I thought it was everybody in the league. I'm like, oh my gosh. That's a lot.
Yeah, okay. Sorry about that. But yeah, it's not everybody in the league. It's the winners of season 0.
Gotcha. Yeah, Indy's saying 281 members are already in the Discord. So
yeah, that's a lot for only being open a week and a half. So pretty crazy, if you ask me. But the hope is to keep it going, right?
yeah,
Season 1, only want to get bigger. See if we can get a couple sponsors in, because so what people have to understand is with any league, uh, yeah, you have to kind of have a product first, and we did this for BCL. So BCL season 1, we had $7,000 prize pool.
mm-hmm.
That was given to us from Triangle Factory, right?
Yeah.
And we also had iStock VR ship out 15 stocks to the winners as well. And BCL season 2, what happened was, well, BCL was, well, the game breachers in general split into, it was a little bit less money. I think that's when VRML started picking up breachers. So
Mm-hmm.
the money that was given to us was now lower. It was a 3.5 thousand.
Yeah.
So it went from 7 to 3.5. And then season 3, what ended up happening was VRML had the land, and so essentially, Triangle Factory had to give them our cut of the funding. So to in order to fund the land, because the land is a minimum of 10K.
Yeah.
So they're giving, let's say, 7 to us, 7 to them. That's 14K. They took our portion, put it towards that, and we were left with essentially no prize pot, no monetary prize pot for season 3. So instead of running season 3 for BCL, we decided to do a fall tournament.
Mm-hmm.
And this is how it goes. Essentially, is you have to have, and this is part of the reason why we didn't secure funding for season 3, was because our product, we didn't have any product essentially, and that product is the cast and the engagement, right?
Yeah.
Sponsors need an incentive, right?
Yep.
They need to see your numbers, and if you don't have that, or if you're like, let's say, this is a good example. If the league has been inactive for quite some time in between seasons,
Mm-hmm.
that's going to limit sponsorship growth
Yeah.
significantly. So yeah, my hope is to keep the snowball going, get good. I'm very confident in your production value.
Yeah.
Get that, and then obviously try to get organic growth in terms of
Mhm.
views and active insights off of that, and use that to leverage for some sponsorships.
Yeah.
It's nothing new to me. I've done that before for BCL. So I'm hoping we can get that going here. So we'll see.
Yeah, like right now, the Brutal Podcast, the Brutal Cast, it's all sponsored by MAP. My
Yeah,
ass
right.
pocket. So
Yeah.
now, I mean, I do have a store open, and so like when people go and buy stuff out of there, none of that money goes to me. It goes right back, and I give stuff away. I've given quite a bit of stuff away. I mean, I've given stickers away, all kinds of stuff. So
Right.
shirts, jerseys. So you name it, I've done it, and it's just for the love of the community and helping it grow and stuff like that. So that's what I see it up for.
Right.
So that's
Right,
always an option.
But for me, the sponsorships isn't anything very
Yeah.
prize spot there. But it's not like we're gonna for the community, like you said. It's to make an incentive for you guys to compete at a high level, not because we're trying to pocket anything.
Yeah.
the reality is we don't make jack shit off this. This is just a passion project,
Yup.
right? That's the
Absolutely.
reality. Like we're all volunteering our time. So yeah, I don't know. I think that plays a big role though in the competitive sense. Like to get the most purest competitive gameplay, you kind of need an incentive for the people to put their efforts in, right?
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
that's a part of the reason why I'm putting for that to happen. But it's one thing at a time, right? We need to see how season zero goes first.
Yep,
But yeah, that's
absolutely.
my hope.
So I think that's just about it. I think that's it. Is there anything else you want to get out there about the OCL?
I think we covered. Oh yeah, they're okay. Well, we talked about this pre-show, and I said I wouldn't say it,
Mm-hmm.
but it's just too exciting. Okay,
All right.
we got people here. I don't know. I feel like I should tell them, but I will say a disclaimer.
So this
Okay,
is this is the big news that wasn't going to be said, but decisions have
essentially,
been
yeah.
made. I dig it. So this is
Right.
almost like a Marvel treat after the end of the credits. You get an extra sneak peek.
Exactly. Yeah. That's I think for the 10 people that stuck around, this is for
Yeah.
telling you guys. But okay, so I'll start with the disclaimer. Okay. Um, there's a chance that it may roll out later in season zero. It's not going to come out.
Hmm.
But basically, we have something in the works where, because I know we had a community vote recently that's still ongoing, by the way. So if you haven't, go and vote. But basically, we have a requirement that's going to, it's very unlikely that the vote turns over, but it's basically going to be you have to have so plotters are going to be mandatory, right? I see NJ
Yeah.
in the chat with the eyes, right? So because of that, what we are in the works of doing is creating a MetaQuest app that is a ping plotter, and that MetaQuest app is going to be OCL, uh, basically an OCL app. And before you play, you will go into the app. It's going to be a free app. You open the app, you press record, and what it's going to record is your network status. So it's going to be its own ping plotter. But that network status and that ping plot isn't going to be recorded on your headset. It'll be linked to our website. And so on our website, we'll be able to see your ping, your jitter, your network status for the whole game. And we'll be able to store that essentially and compare it to if there is an incident. If there isn't, then we'll probably won't store it at all. If
Yeah.
there is, though, we get to keep that and be like, all right, let's compare player pings and jitters and see if there was a lag spike in our interaction. Use the pause to line up the spike and stuff like that. Because I know that's been a big issue in league play was lag essentially. But
Yeah.
the problem with the current infrastructure of the servers and onward is that it's peer relay peer, and I don't know if you guys know what that means, but basically it means you're connected to the host. The host, relays their signal to the server, and then back to you to the peer. So peer relay server peer, right? And
Yeah.
that requires networking. It puts a stress on your networking in a way where the higher latency player an advantage because it takes longer to go to the server to come back. So that's why you get funky shit like a bullet sponge or teleports and all that stuff. But the
Yeah.
problem, right? The
That.
big problems is what comes out of that is it's hard to tell who lagged, right? Because
Yep.
if you have an incident and it's, let's say, ship, it's me and you, and you reporting me for lag, which happens often. I'm joking. But
Well, I
because
know I have super awesome internet because
right,
all the casting and stuff. So
right.
I feel that pressure. So it's good that I have a good internet, but it's also it sucks in gameplay because it's like man, like everybody else is just like getting these kills off on me, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, this sucks. So
Yeah, I mean, I think somewhere a while ago I updated my router
uh huh,
to it was like a $400 router, and I play at head level. And so when I updated my router, I was at a massive. I realized how much of an advantage with my old router. I was like,
yeah,
Jesus Christ! Like my reaction time is slow. It's not. So here's the reality. How it works is this is a game of milliseconds when it comes to flicking,
yep,
and connection plays a role in that. So let's say we flick at the same time, whoever has more ping is going to win. Whereas in other games, like Breachers, for example, if you have less ping, you're going to win because the lower ping you have, the faster your connection goes to. That's not a relay server. That's just a server, right?
Yeah.
So in breachers, it's low ping equals faster reaction time, and onward it's high ping, right? High ping game. So
Yeah.
yeah, to go back to it, um, to the example, let's say you complain about me and and lag, we'll be able to go on our website and actually see and compare the spikes and line that up with the pop, which is huge. Like
Yeah.
that's going to solve a lot of issues. Like it's going to be kind of crazy. So yeah, that's to come. We'll see if it is. It does take a lot of back end infrastructure in order to pull that off, right? So that's in the works for now, and so it's not going to come out and ping for this first little bit. But eventually, I'm hoping the last few weeks of season 0 we'll be able to into the app.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the news.
Yeah.
Thanks for sticking around for that, guys.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
All right. And you know what? We are going to show a video. Let me go over here right quick. Here is a little video with some audio. Here it is. Some of the teams you'll be seeing this inaugural season.
There's the Adam Hulk logo.
Yeah.
Oh, thunder! Oh my god! Oh mayhem! Oh, that's such a transition. Teapots, I gotta give them a shout out. Their logo is funny.
Yeah.
Archiving.
Ooh, it almost lined up with their eyeballs.
Yeah, I love that.
All right, so I think that's going to be all. Thanks for everybody for sticking around. Rambo, thanks for coming on board. Be sure to like and subscribe, and also like and subscribe on anywhere that you're listening to this podcast. It doesn't matter if it's Amazon, Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio, or all the other little ones that this is being broadcasted to. Buzzsprout. I mean, be sure to like and subscribe on that also. I get sort of hyper focused on YouTube because that's what I'm used to, even though I'm the world's worst at it. So be sure to like and subscribe, do all that stuff, share it all around. Same thing as far as all the other places that you listen to this podcast. Hopefully this is great, and hopefully to see you in season 0 of OCL. So once again, Rambo, thanks for coming around.
Thank you so much for having me. Much appreciated.
Yeah, anytime. That's what this is for. It's a platform. Onward News. The people need it. And makes it fun and helps this community grow. So I'm down here in Texas, about to get snow, so I got to go hunker down because we are not used to this. They're about to shut Texas down pretty much. So until next time, GG's.
Welcome to the Brutal Podcast, no time to relax. Shipwrecked in the booth, we're spitting facts. From strats to loadouts, we break it all down. Goes Bob Lipinski, P's holding the crown. Onward in the virtual war, my sock on the rise. Up blink in the air, we aim for the prize. Vault defending the house, watch our back. In this game of survival, we never lack. Wisdom of war, we're the ones to seek. Strategy and skill, it's the grind, not the peak. Ghost with the tactics, Bob brings the heat. Lipinski and P's got the moves, can't be beat. Onward in the virtual war, my sock on the rise. Up blink in the air, we aim for the prize. Vault defending the house, watch our back. In this game of survival, we never lack. Wisdom of war, we're the ones to see. Strategy and skill, it's the grind, not the peak. Ghost with the tactics, Bob brings the heat. Lipinski and P's got the moves, can't be beat. Onward in the virtual war, my sock on the rise. So tune in and ride, let the